let's talk about that drug test. So about once a year, I get tested for drugs. It's a random drug test that averages about once a year. And this time they got me with the alcohol test and the drug test. So the alcohol test, it was like a little swab that you hold in your mouth for like, I don't know, 5, 6 seconds. You hold it in the side of your mouth, you pull it out, you give it to them, and they check it to see if you've been like recently drinking alcohol or anything like that. It was early in the morning, so I just brushed my teeth, got up, went through outbound. They said, "Hey, surprise, you need to go inside." And I was like, "Okay." I go up to the desk. I'm like, "Hey, the field base sent me inside, said I needed to talk to you." And that's whenever they looked up my truck and they're all like, "Yeah, we need you to come into this room over here." And they ask you, "Hey, do you have to urinate? Because we're here for a drug test. And if you don't, then you need to sit over there, drink some coffee, get some liquids in. That way you can urinate enough." And they need just a little bit. Luckily, I was drinking my coffee already that morning, and I was all like, "Yeah, man, I'm fine. Let's do this thing." So I go into the room. They pull out the paperwork, and then they give me the alcohol test first. They swab my mouth. They look at it. They write some paperwork down. They give me a copy of it, and then they send me into the little room. Right, it's like a little room and then a restroom right next to it. So they send you in there with your little cup. You put your urine in there. You bring it out. You don't flush the toilet or nothing. You give it to them. Then they're all like, "Okay, go wash your hands, flush the toilet now," and then they give you copies of your urine test. And then it takes some times for the results to come back. I believe that they send it to two different labs. That way they get a answer from both labs that they're all like, without a reasonable doubt, you were either clean or both labs showed that you were positive for some type of drugs in your system. So no, they did not take any hair. None of that stuff. They didn't get no hair from me. Like, I shave my head all the time. They'll probably take it from my beard or my arm hair or whatever if it was a hair test. But right now, in 2025, we are doing the urine test. So, at the end of the day, I get a lot of questions about this. And, like, if you want to know what you need to do before you come here, that is completely sober up. Completely sober up. Make sure that you're off of any form of drugs. Make sure that you're able to function and that everything is out of your system for a year or two or however long it takes for you to get completely clean. And then it's time to come out here and get your CDL. Then you apply for Prime. You go through all the motions. They're going to set you up with your permit test. They're going to do a lot of stuff with you. And one of the things is you're going to get a drug test, and you want to be able to pass it. So it's very important right now that you pass your drug test, because if you don't, it goes on to clearinghouse, and that's going to stay in your record for any type of trucking job that you go to. So, if you fail one place, it's going to follow you. And it is really hard to get that. If you ever fail a drug test, it's really hard to get that off of your record. I mean, it's going to be on your record, but there's like the SAP program that you can do to get it removed and different stuff like that, which is going to cost you a lot of money. People that I've talked to that been on the SAP program are pretty much like, hey, it's like being on probation. So it's kind of like they're on probation, and they have to come check in every so often. They have to give samples, make sure that they clean up, and then you go through a long, lengthy process of being able to get your CDL back into order to land those good paying jobs. So the moral of the story, just don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Keep yourself clean. Even if you're in a state that they legalized certain ones, we all know the states. If you're from a state that it's legal in, the federal has not recognized that, and we work for we're transportation, we're working federally, we're going across state lines and all that. So make sure that you're just clean. Even if it's legal in your state, make sure it's all out of your system. Put in your application and come out here and let's do this trucking life. Like, comment, and subscribe.